back to Ernée for the 9th round of the FI Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of France. We're in the northwest of the country, about an hour northwest of here, a beautiful part of the region where you can visit Mont Saint-Michel, a monastery on the top of an island that floats in the middle of the English Channel. And what a spectacular look that is as well. But here we are for MXGP. We are nearing the halfway stage. That is a week from now in Germany. First time we came here back in 1990, Donny Schmidt, the US of America, was victorious in the 125 division on a Suzuki. We have now had 22 different winners. KTM lead the way with manufacturers' wins with 8. Yamaha have 7. Husqvarna and GasGas have never won here before. Honda have only ever won in MX3. Will any of those stats change today, especially with the MXGP category coming up next? We've got a stacked house here. Kawasaki have only won twice, by the way. Marnik Bevort back in 1999 when the 250 class was the premier class, and Clément de Sal, the last Kawasaki winner, back in 2017 as an MXGP rider. Will Romain Febvre get his day in the sun here in front of the packed auditorium at Ernée, the Raymond Demy circuit, just outside of Ernée? The usual 4 intermediate sectors, drop downhill to the finish, turn left, right onto the start straight. A couple of corners later, we are at the end of sector 1. Sector 2 in the middle of the circuit through that sweeping left turn 7. Top of the hill, sector 3. As we hit that second jump, that's where that ends, and then the final sector ending on the finish line. Jeremy Seewer was victorious here the last time we came here in 2022 with a first and a second. Jorge Prado was second overall with a second and a third. Glenn Koldenoff snuck onto the podium with a 12th and a first on his Yamaha. If you missed it earlier, here's what happened in race 1 in the MXGP category. MXGP race 1, it was a flying start for Lucas Coenen. Romain Febvre got buried over there on the inside. He held a nice tight inside-outside line through the next couple of corners, came out just inside the top 10, and down at the back there. But it was Lucas Coenen with his 5th foxhole shot of the campaign on the 96. Jeffrey Hurlings with a cracking start. You don't see too many of those these days. He was in 2nd. 3rd was Seewer. Febvre, though, on the attack. He muscled his way up the inside of Andrea Bonacorsi. That put him up into 5th place on lap 2. He then capitalised on this mistake from Seewer. Seewer went defensive. Febvre drifted in, outside, inside, cut across the 2 lines to move into 4th. Listen to the roar of the crowd. You may as well be in a football stadium. He then found his way past fellow countryman Maxime Renault on lap 5 as he moved into 3rd place. He spent the next 9 or 10 laps there chasing down Jeffrey Hurlings. Jeffrey Hurlings, though, was busy trying to close down and find his way into the lead. It caught the 96 of Lucas Coenen. Coenen pulled away. Kevin Horgmo fell, and he has a dislocated right shoulder. He will not line up in race 2. A shame for the rider who qualified 2nd on Saturday. Jeffrey Hurlings gave a bye to Romain Febvre as he moved into 2nd. He then tried to close down Lucas Coenen. Coenen was too far gone, though, and it was Coenen who crossed the line to win for the 7th time this year in his Premier Class debut season. So Lucas Coenen, your winner from race 1, Febvre 2nd, Hurlings 3rd, Maxime Renault, Jeremy Seewer and Andrea Bonacorsi. Then we had Valander and Panzer, Watson, Koldenoff rounding out the top 10. Lisa Leyland was down there, giving us the D-Lo. Alberto Ferrato back this weekend. And the 49 on the Triumph, Tom Guyon.
So we're almost ready for the final race of the day, MXGP race 2, but I'd like to grab a few words with Frenchman Tom Guyon, mainly because it's a home round for you. We don't see much of you this year, just in the French round so far. But Tom, you got the start in that first race. You were running 7th, 8th. Okay, I know it didn't go to plan, but that was a good showing from you for your home crowd.
Yeah, for sure. It's always nice to ride home GP, so the French crowd is crazy. So I was starting quite good, 5, and then I was running 7 or 8, and then after 10 minutes I got throttle cable was maybe not broken but stuck, so the bike stay open, so it was not easy. I got arm pump a lot, so I take it safe and finish the race. 18 is not my place, I think, but I can do better, so keep looking forward for the second race.
So what's your plan for the rest of the season then?
the plan for the next off-season is maybe I will do Lommel also and focus on the French Championship for this year. And yeah, I improve a lot with the bike. The Triumph bike is really good, so really happy about that.
Okay, enjoy the rest of your home GP. Thanks, Tom. Now, we've not seen him since the last French round in Saint-Jean. It's Albi Ferrato. Albi, it's great to see you back lining up behind the gate. But firstly, for those that don't know, just remind us what happened and how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I broke the knee, the ligament, the ACL, and then the meniscus as well, and some complication on that. But now I'm get back. I'm feeling quite okay. Not full recovered, but I need time. Start from zero is not nice, but you know, somewhere I have to start. So not the luckiest period for me, but try to turn it around.
How was that first race for you?
Yeah, it was tough, really tough. Like especially the left corner, I struggled big time. But yeah, I'm getting back into it. Every session is better, and let's go for it.
Step by step. Good to have you back. Thank you, Albi Ferrato there. Good luck to all the guys. It's time for the final race of the day, MXGP Race 2.
Yeah, great to see Alberto Ferrato here this weekend. Tough. Of course it's going to be. He's been a long time missing. Take a look at the calendar then if you are joining us for the first time this weekend for this final MXGP race. We're in France, the start of 3 in a row. We go to Germany next week, Teushenthal. Week after that, Latvia, Kegums, right up there in the northeast. We managed to get a week or so off. We go to Matterley, another week or two off. There's an FIM Junior World Championship, which you might be able to catch on our platform live. More on that if you go to our website. Of course, MXGP in Finland is next, and then look at the runner races right the way down there. September, particularly busy. All culminating in the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations in the US on the 4th and 5th of October. Riders making their way to the line then. Lucas Coenen on pole for the third time this year. Kevin Horgmo, who qualified second in the qualifying race and was running, what, 7th in race 1 today? He crashed out, dislocated his shoulder. He will not be lining up for race 2. Romain Febvre will go to the line 3rd, and then Fernandez. Lucas Coenen, what a fantastic race he had. His 7th race win of the season. Led all 18 laps. Romain Febvre eventually got into second, the number 3, the championship leader. He still has a championship lead. It was 49 at the start of the weekend, but when Coenen won the qualifying race and took the 10 points, and Febvre came home second, picking up the third, picking up the 8 points. And then with the first and second places, the gap between first and second now is 44 points. Ruben Fernandez had an up and down race, quite literally in race 1. Fell on the opening lap, eventually came home in 11th. He's had back-to-back podiums, Portugal and Spain, round 7 and 8. Not sure if he can muster that today, but stranger things have happened. Jeffrey Hurlings, great to see him in at the sharp end, hustling Lucas Coenen at the start and running in there second. There's Kevin Horgmo with that dislocated right shoulder. Get well soon, Horgy baby. But Jeffrey Hurlings ran second until the final 6 laps of the race. He sensed Romain Febvre was catching him, didn't have the goods for him, let him by, just so he could focus on his own championship and his own points. So it was Coenen, Febvre, Hurlings, Renault 4, Jeremy Seawer on the Ducati 5th, Bonacorsi 6th, Verlanderen 7, Panzer 8, Ben Watson, MRT, Beta coming home next in 9th, and Glenn Colden off 10. We've got a green flag at the back. We're almost getting ready to go racing here. MXGP Race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. The sun is shining at Ernée, but who will the sun be shining on the top step of the podium when all is said and done in about 35 minutes from now? The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time this weekend. Round 9, the MXGP of France here at Ernée. Romain Febvre, closest to us here. He got squeezed by Lucas Coenen in the first race. This time he goes to gate number 1, and he's got Hurlings between himself and his main rival. Gate about to drop, all eyes over on this side of the gate, and again, Coenen comes across, he nudges Hurlings into Febvre. He loses out though, and it's, well, I tell you what, was that Seawer with the foxhole shot there on the number 91. Coenen runs around the outside and takes the lead though by turn 3. Wasting no time to get back there into the lead. Coenen leads immediately. Seewer in second, Bonacorsi in third, Febvre in fourth, Gifting, Coldenhoff and Bogus. Two more Fantics line astern. Jeremy Seewer here in that second place. Oh, dabs the leg. They've just taken some of those horrible holes and ruts out there. A little bit more traction there for now than it seems on that part of the racetrack. Coenen leading the way. Seewer second, Febvre in third, Gifting fourth, Bonacorsi, and I think Coldenhoff next. Yeah, Coldenhoff onto the plateau. Febvre knows he can't afford to sit behind Jeremy Seewer if he is to win this Grand Prix outright. Working our way down hill for the first time. Lucas Coenen, the roar of the French crowd, urging on Romain Febvre. He decides not to go inside, hoping for a slingshot to drag him onto the rear wheel of Seewer, and it works. Or does it? Not quite. Nice idea, though. But all the way up the hill, Seewer would have sensed that Kawasaki. He would have heard it. But here we are again, deja vu. White to the outside, cut back. A repeat move, as he did in race one. He's a little bit off balance, but he makes the move stick again for the second time this weekend on Jeremy Seewer. Febvre up to second. Game on, folks. Lucas Coenen, after race one, said he had massive arm pump from about the second lap of the race. He was being pushed hard by Jeffrey Hurlings. And he said it was a nightmare to ride with. He felt he had more pace in him. And he was hoping that this time around he could probably get that shaken off and focus on that pace and have a much more comfortable ride. Well, at the moment he's leading the way again. This time Romain Febvre is up to second at the start of lap 2. Took him until lap 13 of 18 to get there. Watch this here, carves his way back down the inside, just like he did in race one. A little bit off balance there, but look at that, already a bike length clear halfway down the start straight. Top end of the circuit, first and second. Oh, Lucas Coenen riding his luck there, came in very, very well. In fact, he was off the side of the track, testing the boundaries there, landing in soft dirt to the right-hand side. Does not want to be doing that in a hurry. The sun, as well, is going to start to play havoc with the riders. Going to work its way around to this part of the circuit, isn't it? So they're going to have the sun in their eyes at some point. Gap next to nothing. He likes that wide cut back inside line move, doesn't he, the number 3? French fans on their feet. They came to see one thing and one thing only. A French winner. The gap between them, 1.5 seconds. Febvre, the fastest lap last time around in the 150s. Seewer still there in third, about 2.2 seconds further back. Gifting fourth, Bonacorsi, Coldenhoff, Fernandez, Hurlings in 8th, Jonas 9th, Geertz 10. We've got Bogus, Verlandren, Watson 13, Guillaume 14, Mickey Stauffer in 15th, then Alonso, Gilbert, Tondel, Adamson and Van Donnick. Ferrato 21st, Maxime Renault, poor start, making up time. He's in 22nd place at the moment. Guadagnini in 26th place. And Panzer, who was 8th in race one, he is down in 29th position. Oh, a little bit off balance there, Lucas Coenen, heading uphill. Used his tall frame to correct that, though, but with, what, 25 minutes, plenty of time left to run in this, plus those 2 laps. A frantic battle at the top between Coenen and Febvre. Again, whoever wins this will win the overall Grand Prix. Febvre opts to go wide to double down. Is it quicker? Maybe not. Doesn't want to follow. Sometimes you get stuck in that rut when you follow. You drop onto the rider's pace ahead of you. On the pegs, one-legged through that turn. Lifting the right foot peg just to avoid those ruts. Very efficient, very smooth Romain Febvre in moves like that. The gap still hovering around about a second between these two. Kiet's up to 9th place. Had a nightmare in race 1, coming home in 20th place. Battered and bruised after a crash yesterday in qualifying on Saturday. But he's up to 9th place now. Jeffrey Herlings, he's just found his way past Fernandez, moves into 7th place. Fernandez coming back for more though. Great to see this fight back from Jeffrey Herlings. Here's how he did it. Just ran it down the inside. The unsuspecting Ruben Fernandez caught unawares. He turned it back though. Thought he'd made the move stick. Herlings around the outside. Herlings now clear track. And he's got Coldenoff right there in front of him as well. Nothing in it between the first two though. In a moment we're going to go down to pit lane. Lisa Leyland is with Davide De Carli, team manager for the Red Bull KTM team. Let's go down there now then, shall we, and get their views.
Davide De Carli, we saw Lucas Coenen pick up his 7th race win in that first race. He dealt with the pressure of Herlings behind him, but now he's got Febvre on his back wheel. Is he going to be able to manage that?
Actually, since yesterday, pre-practice, time practice, it was always the fastest, and then the qualifying race, so it's not easy always to keep this level. First moto, yeah, he held the pressure from Jeffrey and from Romain. Yeah, he struggled a little bit with the arm pump in the first moto. Let's see now if he feels more free and he can find a better flow.
Thank you. Best of luck to the team.
.22.5 minutes plus 2 to go. MXGP race 2. We just heard from Davide De Carli a moment ago, team manager to the Red Bull KTM team, which is the race currently being led by Lucas Coenen, his star pupil. Just saying that all this weekend, Lisa put the question to him, just saying that can he manage this onslaught from Romain Febvre, and he says, actually, you know what, he was fastest all weekend and fastest in the qualifying race, and he felt like he was quick in race 1 as well, but for arm pump, he says if he manages to not have those issues, he can be a little bit more free, so we'll see what happens, but still, 22 minutes to go, pretty much, plus those 2 laps. Still nothing in it between the top 2. Ooh, Fernandez! A good save, but off the side of the track. Not sure where he's going there. That's just before the run-up towards the uphill triple. Fernandez then losing time, losing 8th place. The wind picking up on the top end of the circuit. You see the body language from the riders there, trying to adjust. Again, Febvre choosing that outside line to double down. Coenen going inside, seat bouncing his way down the hill. Still choosing that inside. Febvre still choosing the outside. Sun in the rider's eyes, they launch downhill, so no problems going back uphill. Not like when we're here for the Nations at the end of the year when the sun is the other side of the circuit. Still 1.6 seconds between Coenen and Febvre. What a ride for Isaac Gifting though, in 4th on the JK Racing Yamaha. Had a fantastic start in the qualifying race on Saturday, 5th. He stayed there till about 4 laps to go before dropping down to 8th. Race 1 today, 12th. Here he is currently in 4th. He's eyeing up a 6th place overall finish. The rider who's been missing for the last 4 rounds. We've got a 6th overall round 2 in Kozar in the mud. Looking to equal that at the moment if things stay as they are. Meanwhile, at the head of the field, we cannot take our eyes off of this frantic battle, this fight between the 2 titans, Lucas Coenen and Romain Febvre. Febvre, former world champion, of course, 10 years ago now in the class, in his rookie season. Lucas Coenen looking to emulate Febvre and Geiser, who did the same in his rookie season. Paul's Jonas, turn 4-5, Kevin Blandren up on the pegs, down the inside. Squeezes the Latvian to the outside for Blandren, now up in the 10th place. Right, Febvre decides to go inside, just to claw back some of those bike lengths that he loses by going to the outside. This time it works. He's closer than he has been in a while. He was only 6/10 at the last split. They're going to cross the line now, a similar margin, maybe even less. Half a second in it. Both riders being urged on. But it's Febvre who's being urged on by the partisan crowd. They sense an opportunity of a pass here. Not quite going to work out this time around, though, but you feel Romain Febvre in the ascendancy now with just under 19 minutes to go. Looks like he's in his groove, he's found his mojo. If Coenen can sustain this pressure in this cauldron, with the fans baying for the number 3 to win, then 10 out of 10. But as you can see, Febvre is not going to make it easy for Lucas Coenen. Again, Febvre shows him a front fender around the outside. He cuts back to the inside, his left and right. Coenen having to second guess his every move. Dry, slick conditions. Who do these conditions favour the most? Defensive again. And when you go defensive, that's the kind of riding that puts you under pressure, produces the arm pump. The follower in pole position here, because it's easier to follow than it is to lead. And Febvre with all the aces up his sleeve at the moment, because if he goes left, Febvre can switch and go right, and vice versa. So it's got him pretty much where he wants him. Again, chooses this outside. He's going to have to brake very hard if he's going to make the move down here. But as you can see, 2 or 3 bike lengths between them at the top of the hill. Similar speed heading down. Look how rugged the track is there, though. Good response this, though, from Coenen at the moment. We were down to 2/10 a moment ago. It's about 9/10 now. Chucks his KTM into that inside line. Again, Febvre just drifts his way beautifully through that inside. Siwa only 2.6 seconds further back. Siwa eyeing up a podium for Ducati if things stay as they are. He's got breathing space as well, because Bonacorsi and Hurlings, they're about 5 points off the pace. What a weekend this would be for Siwa. Obviously a place that he likes. He was victorious here on a Yamaha when we came here in 2022 with a first and a second. Trying everything he can at the moment. Romain Febvre, Kawasaki Racing Team, the number 3. The championship lead coming into race 2 was down to 44 points. It was 49 at the start of the weekend. Watch us here, just goes a little bit too deep, loses traction on the way out, has to compromise. You cannot see how gnarly those braking bumps are. You can only see the movement from the bike that would suggest as such, but it's steep going into that braking zone at the bottom of that hill, that tight 180 turn. Oh, Febvre, a little untidy in the braking zone there into turn 11. Will he continue to push down the inside here? Is he going to go to the outside once again? No, he's decided inside is best. There's Siwa lurking in the background in 3rd. The Aruba.IT Ducati, which last year made its appearance at the Dutch Grand Prix in Arnhem in the Netherlands towards the end of the year with the 9-time world champion Antonio Cairoli. Picked up points at the first time of asking. It's now a full factory bike in 2025. Siwa looking to get it on the podium for the 2nd time. Febvre, though, not allowing Coenen an inch of recovery. Goes to the outside of that single to see if that makes any difference. The number 96. Both riders tripling in, doubling out. Can't leave the door open here, Lucas. Febvre will be there, and he is there. Not quite close enough. Less than 15 minutes plus 2 laps to go. What an enthralling contest we have here. A real test of Coenen's mettle as well. Not sure if he was ever tested like this in MX2. Amongst all of his race wins, he would have had battles for sure. But no one as tenacious as Romain Febvre. Again, tries to show him a fender. And again, denied a way through to the lead. The championship leader, number 3. And for the show that they're putting on at the moment, just goes to show that a certain amount of speed in the racetrack only, because see, we're only 4 seconds further back. There he is in the background in third. 150, 151 lap times for the first 4 or 5 guys. Gifting only 3 seconds behind Siwa. Dropping into view now, top of the Liquid Molly Hill. Siwa there in third. What about Isaac Gifting in fourth on that JK Racing Yamaha private satellite team? In fourth position, in amongst all the factory machines. But with 13.5 minutes to go, the gap between Coenen and Febvre still hovering at 1.2 seconds. Who will come out on top when all is said and done here in France? Makes a change to get a race under conditions where we don't have rain. Blue skies all the way here for both races today. Near perfect track conditions, they can't look. Mick Cole, bless her, she can't look down there in pit lane. Coenen wins, goes 1-1, he wins the overall, because Febvre 2-2, second overall. Febvre finds his way past, he goes 2-1, Coenen goes 1-2. Grand Prix victory to Romain Febvre. At home, a stab in the turn there of the yellow boots of Coenen. Cost him a bit of time. Febvre back into play. Quick pull of the tear-offs, wants maximum visibility as he lines up a potential attack again, dropping down into that infield turn. This time he goes wide, gets better drive. Looking for something different. Oh, he gets stood up mid-turn there. He is not going to let up, is he? Moved into second, 6 laps from home in race 1. Had a lot of time to make up. By then, Coenen was controlling the race because of his arm pump situation. Different story this time around. As early as the start of the second lap, Febvre into second with Coenen exactly where he wanted him. And he's got him on the ropes. A mistake from Coenen. Listen to the roar of the crowd as Febvre flies by. What a moment for Febvre. Shaking that left hand, Lucas Coenen. Is he struggling with the dreaded arm pump again? Just take a moment to listen to that. Romain Febvre leads on lap 9, on lap 10. He's just found his way past Lucas Coenen. The roar of the crowd was absolutely monumental, as you would imagine, because Febvre now in Grand Prix winning position if he stays where he is. Coenen shook his left hand after the pass was made, but it was a mistake from Coenen on the long uphill drag. He lost balance, he lost drive, his feet were off the pegs. And Romain Febvre was right there where he wanted him, and he'd been hustling for the last 3, 4, maybe even 8, 9 laps actually since he got into that second place. With Febvre now leading, I wonder if Coenen can just relax a little bit more, get rid of that arm pump, and find something special in the next 10.5 minutes. Doesn't normally happen that way, but stranger things have happened. This is MXGP after all. The gap, 2 seconds at the moment between them. Siwa on course for a podium for the second time this year for Ducati. Got his first one at home in Switzerland, round 6. This is round 9. He's got 3 points, daylight between himself and Jeffrey Herlings. Herlings at the moment in 8th. He's 5 seconds down on Fernandez, with some work to do. So looking good potentially at the moment for Jeremy Siwa. Down to 1.6. Here's the pass a moment ago. Both went into that inside line, and Coenen just missed his option. Watch this, cross-rotated, legs off, Febvre, perfect drive. And that was the moment. They lobbed that down there. But the gap coming down from 2 seconds, they can't believe it. Look at the cool, stern face of the boss, Claudio De Carli. And look at the reaction from the fans. The difference between being passed and making the pass. Gap came down briefly to 1.6 seconds. Febvre's getting it back out to 1.8. Bonacorsi here in 5th place for Fantic Factory Racing MXGP. Take a look at the start. Fantic's in the middle of the gate. Febvre inside gate number 1. Herling's beside him. Coenen went tight. Oh, and it was Bonacorsi over the Foxhole shot line. Seawer into the lead immediately, though. Bonacorsi with his first Foxhole shot in MXGP this year. And that was Maxime Renault tipping over on the exit of turn 2. Not what he wanted at all. Bonacorsi with his first ever hole shot as he crosses the line just ahead of Seawer. .817 going through there, Jason Clermont. And Bonacorsi, your Foxhole shot winner, circulating there in 5th place at the moment, looking at 5th overall in the Grand Prix as well. Been solid actually since Sardinia. Been 4th 3 times, 7th once. Only outside the top 10 on 1 occasion. That was in Switzerland. Sorry, in Trentino. Right, Febvre and Coenen still separated by about 1.7 seconds. Seawer 4.5 seconds further back. Fernandez up to 6. He's found his way past Koldenhoff. Good to see Bonacorsi enjoying his riding on that Fantic. Has a 7-second deficit between him and Gifting. 4.2 seconds behind is Ruben Fernandez. What about Isaac Gifting? Not seen him on TV at the moment, but very, very impressive. First race back from injury. He's currently circulating in 4th place. Got a 6th and a 7th, round 2 in Spain, in Kozar. Got a 6th in race 2 in Sardinia, a race that he led. Right, here's Koldenhoff in 7th place. And Fernandez, oh, roughing him up over on the far side of the circuit before you get onto that plateau. Fight back was the message to the Hoff. Fernandez in 6th and running away with it as well. Herling's behind him. Behind Koldenhoff, that is. Dropping downhill. Less than a second between Febvre and Coenen, potentially. 1.3. 6 minutes to go. If Febvre thought he could take over the lead and run away with it, think again. Coenen making him work every step of the way. Seawer right there. 5.3 seconds further back. Still got a 3-second buffer, a 3-point buffer. As Herlings gets around the outside of Koldenhoff, charges downhill. Herlings up to 7th. Bit of a gap between the first 2 though at the moment. Bit of a jab there into the turn for Febvre. Anyway, 5 minutes to go. This one's still delicately poised. Will it be Febvre or Coenen that takes the win? Isaac Gifting here on the JK Racing Yamaha. What a race this has been for the Super Swede. 4th at the moment. He's been there pretty much the entire race, but no one has challenged him. Seawer has disappeared about 5.5 seconds further up the track. Bonacorsi about 7 seconds behind him. sandwiched right between the thick of all the factory bikes. And when you look at the top 10, every single bike, in fact, you go down to 14th. He's the only privateer bike in the top 14. That is impressive. "13 laps complete as Febvre drops downhill. Still trying to maintain that 1.6 second advantage. 52's lap time, breathe, 4 minutes plus 2 laps, the duration of the race left to run. You know what I think? I think Coenen's got something up his sleeve here, you know. Taking a breather. Don't tell Romain Febvre that, though. Oh, run off, side of the track again. Is that top end of the circuit? Yes, it is. Onto the final plateau. Renault crashing from 14th. Watch this, back end's going to come round on him. Yeah. Oh, there's a guy who doesn't need any more crashes. He rode that out, though. Telling him, I owe you one. As he was getting held up there. 3 minutes 20 to go. Gap still just over a second. Don't need me to tell you that. 1.3, 4, 5, 6. It's irrelevant, really, isn't it? And when you start to hit traffic, that's where things really start to get tense. Sphincter going to be working overtime on Febvre's backside as he approaches back markers, knowing that Coenen is right there. Both riders being put to the test. Two and a half minutes plus 2 laps to go. Lucas Coenen searching for new lines, looking for a way to dissect Romain Febvre, to unlock the door that will see him go back from second to first. Remember, he led the race until lap 9 before Febvre came through. Febvre has led every single lap since then. We are now on lap 15. Febvre's gap over the Belgian, 1.6 seconds. The Frenchman, though, knows the fans opposite him. Some 50,000 of them crammed into that hillside banking. Only want one thing, he does not want to disappoint. Here's how he found his way to the lead half a race ago. Came down, bottom of the hill, turn 13. Coenen offline, then untidy on the exit. He was trying to fight, then he was off balance, catching ruts. Febvre breezed by to the top of the hill. And the noise that the crowd made at that moment was absolutely insane. It looks now, though, like he may have just broken Coenen. 1.9 the gap between first and second. Herlings finding his way past Ruben Fernandez for 6th place. Here's how he did it. That was the outside, wasn't it? And then inside combination. He set that up going past pit lane into the final turn. Febvre working his way downhill. We are going to have 3 laps to run in this race, because 38 seconds on the clock. There's the finish line there. 2-lap board will go out next time around for Romain Febvre. Coenen opting for that tight inside line. That pushes him a bit further wide, maybe, on the exit of the turn. Yes. Loses a couple of bike lengths there. We've seen how efficient Febvre is through that part of the racetrack. Herlings with the fastest sector time in sector 1. He's 1.6 seconds behind Bonacorsi. Ooh, I tell you what, the podium is very, very delicate now. Siwa on 36, Herlings on 35. Herlings with his move on Fernandez, moving up to 6th place. He's 1.6. He needs to pass Bonacorsi and Gifting, doesn't he? 18, 16, yeah, 15. So he needs to find his way past Gifting. This pass is not going to be enough on Bonacorsi. That'll only give him 1 extra point, won't it? Because 18 for 4, 16, 15, a 1 point drop between 5th and 6th. That'll put Herlings on 36, the same as Siwa. Gifting is going to need to stand firm. He's up in that top left corner, around 4 seconds clear with 2.5 laps to go. Will it be Siwa on the podium for the second time this year for Ducati, or will we see Herlings on the podium for the first time in 2025? Certainly the best showing that we've seen from the Bullet. Not sure what kind of time frame he put on getting back to somewhere near his best when he made a return. But it's clear that when he did come back, he came back way too early. No ride time, no race prep. Injury's still not fully healed. Makes you wonder whether the situation was forced upon him almost to sort of say, you know, like just how contracts are, you know, if you miss so many races and things like that, there are clauses that can determine whether you get paid or not, or whether you take a massive discount on your payments or not. Only he can know that, of course, and the powers that be. 2 to go. Coenen launched down the inside at the end of pit lane a moment ago, tried to put in the clutch and give it the full gas treatment. Febvre wasn't having any of it, wasn't going to be moved off of that line. Bonacorsi hanging on here to 5th position with 2 to go. Got Jeffrey Herlings behind him, lurking menacingly. Oh, nice and efficient through there for the 84 on the Red Bull KTM. A little bit of hang time, though, coming out of that turn. It undid some of that work. Gap between the leaders down to 1.5 as we near the end of this 17th lap. Yeah, definitely wind picking up in and around the circuit. You see how gusty it is. The dust just breezing off the side of the circuit almost immediately, not hanging there at all. Oh, Herlings chucking his bike in there, looking for drive around the outside, doubles on. I thought he was going to double around the outside there. He's got alongside Bonacorsi. Bonacorsi just doing enough to stay ahead of Herlings at the moment. Looks across to his left, sees him there as they deal with traffic. Herlings hustling now, though. Bonacorsi, I won't say he's on the ropes without saying he's on the ropes, but he is on the ropes. And so too, potentially, Romain Febvre, 1 lap away from taking the checkered flag as a race and Grand Prix winner here. Unless Lucas Coenen can dig in extra deep and reverse the table, finding a pass, if he can. Nothing wrong with his fitness, his speed or his determination. And for those who said it was too early, moving up to 450, well, I wonder how many hats you've eaten, how many sets of words as well. Following him in, senses, yeah, nervous look over the shoulder there from Febvre. The first time we've seen him look back on the final lap. How nice would it be to cruise to victory on the final lap? Coenen having none of it, though, applying the pressure every step of the way. Herlings has found his way into 5th with a move on Bonacorsi. That's going to tie him for the podium with Siwa. And he has Gifting. Oh, Gifting only half a second. Wow. Absolutely nothing in it. Is it going to be heartbreak for Siwa and Ducati, or elation for Herlings? We will keep our eye on 2 sets of battles here. This one for the win and the overall Grand Prix victory. Febvre hanging on for now. 1 last push from the crowd. 1 last charge uphill as well. Final turn. Coenen trying everything. The run down to the line, it's gonna be Febvre! Febvre wins at home, sends the crowd into euphoria. It's gonna be a crazy podium here. He pulls back another 3 points in the championship, celebrates like he's just won the World Championship. Well, you know what? That was earned every step of the way. Siwa's going to cross the line third. We keep our eye on the battle. And Siwa's going to be third in the race. Gifting was only 6/10 clear of Herlings a moment ago. Herlings crossed the line fifth, Gifting fourth, Bonacorsi there. So it's going to be Siwa on the podium. What a Grand Prix we had here in France. Absolutely extraordinary. Gap goes back out to 47 points then by my reckoning. At the top of the championship. But for Romain Febvre, a win here means his 24th career victory. And what a place to do it, right here at home. Some celebrations going on down there. Everybody rushing. Febvre even jumps on the bike to get back to the first turn to celebrate. And here he comes, going to make his way to the winner's circle. Somehow he's got to get back there. But Febvre, Coenen, Siwa, first, second, third in the race. Febvre, Coenen, Siwa, first, second, third overall here in France. Good effort, Lucas Coenen, but he knows he needed to win that to come away with a Grand Prix victory and eat more ground into Romain Febvre's lead. Febvre, though, pretty much doing what he did when the shoes were reversed, when it was Prado and Febvre going at it, when Febvre went on that win streak, 6 Grand Prix, 7 Grand Prix, whatever it was, a couple of years ago. Every time Prado went and took a win, Febvre would come back, win the next one, win the Grand Prix, but not really gain any points in the championship. Kind of feels a bit like that at the moment between the top two. And that would be frustrating for Coenen. Glenn Koldenoff only 3 points off of Tim Geiser in third. He was hoping to take third overall this weekend in the championship chase, but not to be. And you will hear a very, very noisy national anthem here. Absolutely guaranteed. Romain Febvre, career Grand Prix victory, number 24. Here he is with Lisa Leyland.
Romain Febvre, wow, your third overall of the season. You did it at home in front of the French crowd. That was a big win for you.
Yeah, big win here in France for sure. I think, yeah, everyone wanted that I win. Yeah, I had a really good first moto. Actually, I had a bad start, but came back really strong. And then that second moto took a much better start. I was second behind Lucas quickly, and then yeah, he was riding really good. So time to check the line where I could pass him, and then actually make a mistake during the uphill. Pass Simmer and yeah, hold on for the win. So yeah, you cannot imagine how I'm happy to win the home GP. So feels good.
Enjoy that podium.
Romain Febvre, what a day, what a performance for the Frenchman. Romain Febvre, absolutely sublime here today at home. He hustled Lucas Coenen right the way to the checkered flag. He celebrated as the fans celebrated on the opposite side of the bank. Winning at home, you don't get any better feeling than that, and you are going to hear a very, very noisy podium. Even louder national anthem, and there's one thing the French fans do here, they sing their hearts out. Romain Febvre wins race 2 from Lucas Coenen. Jeremy Siwa, that is going to be your podium as well. Isaac Gifting, fantastic performance, 4th in the race for him. Herlings 5, Bonacorsi 6, Fernandez and Valainen bringing up 8th place. 9th for Koldenoff and 10th for Jago Geert. Then we had Ben Watson, Brian Bogers, Paul Jonas, Jan Panzer of Slovenia, Maxim Renault, up and down weekend here at home for him. Behind him, Stauffer, Warrame, Van Donnick, Tom Guillaume, Cornelius Toondell. The overall Grand Prix victory, though, belongs to Romain Febvre. A second and a first to Coenen's first and a second means he wins the tiebreak. He will stand on the top step of the podium. It will be he that listens to the national anthem in front of a packed auditorium. And Jeremy Seewer came very close to losing that podium. As Herlings moved closer to gifting another lap, we may have seen a change there, but Seewer and Ducati on the podium for the second time in 2025. Watson, 11th overall. We'll take a look at the championship. We started with a 49-point gap. It was 47 going into race 1. Sorry, 49, then back out to 47. So Febvre, 47 clear of Coenen at the top as we go to the halfway mark. Germany, 1 weekend from now. Guys are hanging on for third. Koldenhoff could have taken third with a bit of a more consistent day today. He's going to have to wait another week, but snapping at his heels, look, Ruben Fernandez on the Honda and Maxime Renault. He will look at those scores and think, man, I should be very, very close to top 3 in the championship right now. But that weight is going to have to go on. See, we're up to 9th now. Hogmo with that dislocated shoulder drops down to 10th. Not sure when we will see him back in action. Herlings making more progress as well. So too, back from injury, Isaac Gifting. Kawasaki take over the top in the Manufacturers' Championship standings here this weekend. Honda there in second, and then we've got KTM, Yamaha, Fantic, Ducati, Beta, and Husqvarna. And you can already hear how noisy it is down there as well, as they prepare for the noisiest podium of the year so far. Round 9 here in France. Triumph with 5 points there in 9th. Everybody doing their best to get through the fences to meet the podium. Andrea Bonacorsi with his first ever foxhole shot in either MX2 or MXGP. For Fantic, they'll take pride of place. Good job, Bonner. Lucas Coenen leading the way there, though. Right, prepare to be wowed if you're new to MXGP. 3rd overall, Jeremy Seewer. There'll be an army of Swiss fans here as well that have made the trip across the borders. The Aruba.IT Ducati rider for the 2nd time for him and Ducati this year in 2025. And for Jeremy Seewer, his 60th career podium coming here in Ernée. Lucas Coenen put everything into both races. He just fell short. He has to settle for 2nd. It was a tie for the points, but 2nd overall for the Red Bull KTM rider. 21 career podiums for him now. I'll get this out of the way now. Romain Febvre goes 2-1. He wins the French Grand Prix here. What a reception he will get. Febvre arrived, he conquered, he delivered. He gave the fans exactly what they wanted. Febvre stands on the top step of the podium for the 24th time. And what a place to do it than right here at home in Ernée. Antti Pyränen, all smiles as well. What a consistent season he's had. He's only missed the podium once. 3 wins, the rest seconds. The only time he missed the podium was round 2, Kozar. 7 in a row now for Febvre in terms of podiums, the last 7 rounds. The mayor of Ernée, Jacqueline Archanget. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, Madame Maire, for allowing us to come to your wonderful town once again. 23 different winners so far have graced the top step of the podium. Philippe Lecomte hands the 2nd place trophy to Lucas Coenen. Jeremy Seewer 3rd. Romain Febvre, though, the top step of the podium, is 24th Grand Prix victory. Sébastien Poirier, the FIM board member, congratulates Romain Febvre. Job well done. He continues to lead the championship, 47 points. It was 49. He's only lost 2 in the greatest scheme of things over the whole weekend when you include the qualifying race. He's in a very, very good place, isn't he? Heading in to Germany, the halfway mark, round 10. Thierry Pommier, the FFM Vice President, French Motorcycling Federation, of course. Anti-Pyrenean putting another one down there in a workshop in Lommel. Good job, team. Kawasaki with their third ever victory around here in Ernée. Marnik Bevort in 1999 in the 250 category. Clément de Salle in 2017. Romain Febvre does it again here in 2025. He takes the championship lead as red plate once again. Next stop, Romain Febvre and MXGP Germany, 1 week from now. That's your podium. Romain Febvre, Lucas Coenen, Jeremy Seewer. National anthems up next. Well, why wouldn't you be? You'd be all over it, wouldn't you? Romain Febvre goes 2-1 here to take his 24th career victory. His third of the season, goes back-to-back winner for the first time. Coenen and Seewer flank him. Take a look at the highlights of that second race before we grab a word with all three winners. MXGP race 2. If anything like race 1, we knew we were going in for a bit of a battle. Bonacorsi with his first ever foxhole shot. He then ran wide, opened the door for Seewer on the Ducati. Coenen, though, wasting no time around the outside, snuck into the lead at the first opportunity as Febvre moved into fourth and then third quite rapidly as well, as he too found his way past Bonacorsi. He then went after Seewer, and just as he did in race 1, same move, same turn. Fans on their feet. Febvre up to second at the start of lap 2. Herlings going after Fernandez. Fernandez up the side of the track. Herlings eventually came home in 5th, but then he fell. That's why he had to find his way past Fernandez again. Cost him a podium. That move. All over the back of Lucas Coenen. As the race went on, Febvre got closer and closer. In the end, a mistake heading up the hill on lap 9 of 18. Maxime Renaux fell on turn 1. He fell again towards the end of the race. Maxime Renaux, 15th in race 2. Jeffrey Herlings got the better of Bonacorsi to move back into 5th, but that earlier mistake cost him ground. There was gifting ahead of him. If he made that move, we'd have seen Herlings on the podium. Running down towards the flag, though, that's how close it was between Febvre and Coenen, who crossed the line 1st and 2nd. Seewer crossed the line 3rd. They were your top 3. Here's Lisa with all of them.
Romain Febvre, massive congratulations. You're on a charge and full attack mode in both races. Perfectly timed pass on Lucas there to get your 3rd overall. That was a big win for you. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's amazing to eat at home with so many fans. We was lucky with the weather actually for them, and yeah, I have no words. Like to win like this, it was a really crazy battle, both races for me. And to win like this, it means a lot to me, especially at home. So thank you to everyone who came here, and thanks to all my sponsors.
Thank you, Romain. Second overall today, we have Lucas Coenen. Lucas, you put everything into both those races. You picked up a race win in that first race despite the arm pump, but had to settle for second in that second moto.
Yeah, hats off to Romain. Made a good work. With the home crowd in the back is also helping, but I mean, we put on the charge and a show for the fans. First moto, struggled big time with arm pump. Didn't find my flow, so I was a bit working on that, a bit worried for second moto, and I hoped for don't get arm pump, but I got, so I rode a bit tight. Romain was there. I knew the inside was good, but I didn't manage to take it. He took it, and then it took me one lap to recover to try to forget the arm pump, but it was difficult, and I put it on the charge. But honestly, P2, 3 podiums in a row, if I don't, no, 4. So yeah, it's good. Second overall, Romain wins, so the podium was really good. But now we want more. Now we're gonna get some good races into it, and looking forward.
Exactly. Thank you, Lucas. Third overall today, we have Jeremy Seewer. Jeremy, a 5th and a 3rd. You just gave Ducati their 2nd podium of the year. Tell us about your weekend.
Well, this one is done by myself. You know, in Switzerland I did a podium, but I needed a lot of luck. Today I did it. Could have been even 4-3 because I was so close to pass Maxime in that first moto. But yeah, amazing. We're getting better. You know, I had the rhythm of Romain and Lucas in the first 15-20 minutes, and this is a big step. We keep improving, and it's going in the good direction. And yeah, this gives another boost. And yeah, I'm happy, super happy. 2 podiums already with such a project, you know. But we are coming for sure.
Good job. Thanks, Jeremy.
Jeremy Seewer, 3rd overall this weekend. The Aruba.IT Ducati rider. As he said, doing it this one by himself. All the stars aligned, coming home with a 5th and a 3rd. Jeremy Seewer with his 60th career podium. Lucas Coenen, a 1-2, not quite good enough to get on the top step, but he was just outsmarted by somebody just ever so slightly better, and that was Romain Febvre. Febvre with his 24th career Grand Prix victory. The last time Febvre stood on the top step of the podium back in 2016, round 10. No wonder he was all smiles. You would be anyway, but this one ever so sweet. He leaves here with a 47-point advantage. We go to Germany, the halfway stage, with that red plate still on the front of that Kawasaki. Febvre, your overall winner here this weekend in Ernée. What a Grand Prix it was as well. And we are out of time. Thank you for the pleasure of your company. We've had a fantastic time here in northwestern France this weekend. We hope you have too, watching from wherever you've been watching. The Liqui-Moly MXGP of Germany is up next. 1 week from now, Teuschenthal. From me, Paul Maley, Lisa Lane and the rest of the team. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.